Alan?
Yeah.
Were you ever actually misdiagnosed? In other words, given a diagnosis of something other than autism spectrum disorder?
Yeah, so I had issues since I was a newborn. With just I was post term, but like I had to use a preemie nipple on the bottle. So there was definitely, and there was things throughout. My childhood, like different stuff with like as far as like muscle tone and stuff, more of the physical stuff and stuff like that. Then I did get diagnosed first with OCD. So that was a misdiagnosis. So I had that for like a couple of years in like later elementary school, and then when I got to junior high, they're like, "Yeah, no, this isn't OCD."
Because I had an experience with a misdiagnosis too, many years ago, and I'm just curious.
So I definitely think it's something that happens. Of course, part of the thing is, I don't know if everyone knows this, but the autism, autism was in the DSM for a while, but Asperger's syndrome, so like the more high functioning, which now it's all condensed back into one, but was not added until 1994. So like I'm 27 right now, so I was 4 years old when that diagnosis was even added to the manual.
And I'm about a year and a half older than you, and I know I was diagnosed with Asperger's late in elementary school, but I was previously diagnosed with, I think, ADHD, so same sort of thing where we were just on the cusp of being young enough to be diagnosed as kids.
Yeah.
So bringing it back to your gist of your thing with your programs, what has been most gratifying to either you or your mother from these groups that you started and are involved with? What do you find most gratifying?
I mean, I just like giving people an opportunity to have somewhere to go if they have, because that's one of the problems and some of the feedback you hear. Like people's like, oh, I don't really have any friends to do anything with, or like not. So that's what I like, and I think my mom just likes that too, that she's able to help people and stuff like that.
Has it helped? I'm sorry, were you?
No.
Has it helped you sort of come to terms with certain things or accept certain things or learn how to move through difficulties and challenges?
Yeah, I mean, I think
it's that way also?
Yeah, I think it's good that way. It's always good to get, helping like to kind of facilitate and run them is always, of course, good skills for me as far as I can be translate, like, kind of how like it was like I was able to get this job kind of because I had been like doing the planning, with Passage and stuff. So I think that definitely helped, like because I kind of had experience kind of doing that. So it definitely makes that easier for me. And I think it's good to, like I said, also I'm able to like have like people that sometimes I can do stuff with now too. So if I'm like, oh, I want to go do this activity, I can be like, oh, I can call or email or whatever this person because I know they'll be interested in doing that, and so that's always nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Lauren has a question.
Yeah, Lauren.
How? I mean, for you, it's part of your job is the talking with people, but I have the hardest time finding time and energy to leave the house to go socialize. How do you have any like other people that at groups or things that have that same problem?
That say to you, it's really hard for me to want to leave the house. Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard that just kind of in general with like Aspies as far as like I know that and even me that like I know I like sometimes will see like a neurotypical will be like, oh, I'm doing this today, and I'm like, what, you're doing what and what today? Like I would literally die at the end of that day. I would just keel over and be done. Like that would be it. That I'm so it's definitely I definitely know we have like I feel like we're just like. I don't know if it's just that we use more energy, like brain energy, like mental and physical energy than like neurotypical does as far as when doing things, or if it's like, it's obviously related to disability because it's kind of a general like thing with everybody. But yeah, I definitely get that and I definitely feel that. And so I try to, because I know that like you said, part of it now it's my job too, so that helps. But I definitely try to prioritize like some of those activities because I know I will be like, I hate like not having anything to do and like being like then I feel like deprived. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything with anybody. I'm lonely and I'm bored and like I'm just gonna. So I definitely try to make sure it's a priority, And so I know it's hard with like tasks and stuff. So sometimes I do wind up pushing off probably tasks that I should be getting done. But you know what I mean? I'm like with like laundry, it's like okay, well the clothes aren't going to go anywhere. I have a lot of other clothes I can wear. Like I'll just do a giant load one day when I'm free and just sit there for like 5 hours and do clothes or whatever, you know.
I have a suggestion. I mean, if it's, I mean, a couple things. I mean, once you go, which you know, if you go to one, then there's like, the newness and the nervousness goes away and you've made some connections. But number two, you could also reward yourself. Like, okay, I'm not the most social person at all, but if I go, because I know I should and it might make me feel better, then I'll, get something from Panera or something that I like. Reward yourself and put off that reward until you've done something that you find less pleasant. I don't know. That works for some people.
Yeah.
No, not for you though. Lauren's going, no.
Are you saying it's more of an energy thing, right? Like you don't feel like you physically have the energy to.
Stepping up and out is always like 5 friggin' hours.
Okay, so I should clarify that. Yeah, people do not.
You can drop it and leave.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's open.
In fact, that happens
obviously
quite
it's
frequently.
it's a little bit harder obviously when we're going to a physical place, obviously. But I mean, still, if you get your own transport there, we're fine with letting you leave. Like everybody's in. That's the nice thing with adults. We don't need to completely be like, oh no, little Jimmy didn't get picked up. Now he's missing, and we have to send out an Amber Alert. Like like you're adults. So if like you're like, oh, I need to leave. I need to take off. Like we're like, okay, we trust you. We know you know how to get places and stuff, and we have faith in you.
And I have a car now that does home.
Tori, you had a suggestion too, right?
Well, I was just saying, you can treat it like one of those things like exercise too. Like sometimes
True.
it's hard at first to get started with it, but the more you do it, the more benefit you start to see to it, where it starts to create its own rewards.
Yeah, see, I just put Pokemon Go now because exercise wasn't really a thing.
Well, I'm just saying, like, treating it like something like exercise, like, that you maybe have to push yourself to do, but then eventually it starts to reap its own benefits a little bit.
Exercise never stopped.
But no, I'm saying there are other things like
With
that.
I mean, so with my thing, I found with exercise is I need I'm good with doing like martial arts and stuff because to me that's more mentally stimulating than like most other just like doing like reps at like a gym or whatever. So like I think it's the same kind of thing with social things as exercise. Like for exercise, you need to find what kind of exercise. Like some people like to do like dance. Some people like the more like weight training. Some people like running. Like some people like playing a sport with a team. So I think the same thing can be applied to the social activities too. Obviously, you're not every social. Right. There's different things, and which is why we try to do different activities at stepping up and out. And like to an extent, the other thing is I do too, where we try to sometimes we try to do outings because I know some people prefer to like go to a place, and then like other people though don't seem like they don't like that as much. They like just being able to come here and kind of chill and talk with people.
Yeah, for me, if I have to go socialize, it's easier for me to be doing something than have to be this strictly focused on socializing. That's hard for me. But if you go, even if you go out to the movies and stuff,
yeah, with people. Yeah.
That it gets.
I know one time we got yelled at for talking during the first hockey game we went to with SUO, and I'm like, seriously? Like the person in front of us was like.
That's with any like activity when you're at like certain places. Some people are really focused on the thing going on, so they're like, I don't want any distractions.
I'm like,
So I think that Sheila.
Yeah, but let's see what Sheila wants to say.
Well, I was thinking about the analogy with exercise and socializing, and I recently started doing some physical activity, and I think the thing that was holding me back was that I was doing it alone. And I needed like a partner or something. So I don't know where I'm going with this metaphor, but yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that too. I think the other thing with like martial arts is that it's usually instructed too, and so that helps me. Like I'm not good at like the same thing. Like I know like Courtney's like language thing. Like I know if I'm gonna actually want to seriously learn a language, like I would probably have to take some kind of class with an instructor, because otherwise I'm not I wouldn't be that motivated in self-starter, even though like I'm interested in languages, to actually like go through and follow up and do the work. But if I have that accountability to the other person and stuff. Like,
something Duolingo does is they have a daily streak where if you do enough practice every day, they're like, okay, you've done it for this many straight days, and I'm at, I think, 107, so that's made me be like, oh, I have to do this today.
That's motivating to you.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then-
that's, I mean,
and
that's always
I know-
nice with things too.
And I know for running, I was horrible at trying to just do it on my own, but I started Couch to 5K, and I'm now partway through week 4 of the 9-week program, because I know if a coach, even though the coach is just an app, if she's telling me when to run and when to walk, it's easy to follow her, but trying to figure out splits on my own was just crazy overwhelming.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely helps, and like I said, it all goes down to person, like, like personally for me though, having like accountability to like a robot, I'm like, whatever, you're not even real.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do, Siri.
I mean, you could always do what I did, which is I have a set of exercises for my physical therapy. I've recorded myself counting to 10.
Yeah.
And like telling myself what to do next.
Yeah.
And would loop the 10 counts and did some like audio editing so that I actually have a 17.5-minute thing that
just
tells
you
me what
counting?
exercises to do.
Oh, that's good.
And it's me, so.
Right, it's you, yeah. You
So
get
it's not a robot telling me what to do.
That's good.
Whoa.
Dan?
This is to change the subject a little, but I wanted to ask you if you have a favorite SEO activity that you've done.
Oh, I need to know this.
You can start with.
The zoo.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't,
Come on.
I'm pretty open, I like doing a lot of stuff, so,
Or a favorite type of SEO?
yeah, I mean,
You liked the zoo, didn't you?
the zoo's good.
He was one of our guides, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, pointing at animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. No, I definitely, yeah, I'm one of those people, I like to do a lot of different kind of activities. So yeah, I definitely, I think a museum would be really fun, we haven't done that yet. That's,
I want to do museum.
yeah, I think a museum would be fun, I gotta figure that out.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have
So
a,
would
do you have a
trips be
question?
like every Sunday basically, or do they change?
Mostly
It's-
on
Okay, let's let Alex answer because he's the
Yeah, it's,
program.
we do this stuff, and like I said, it's usually on Sundays, it's most Sundays, but watch the email, because sometimes, like, one time this month, I'm busy, I'm going out of town, so, yeah, so we're just not doing anything that weekend, so sometimes, and obviously if it, like around the holidays, we probably won't have anything, because everybody's already so busy with their families
Are
and
you ever gonna
friends.
do it a different day of the week or always Sunday?
It's mostly Sundays, but, sometimes we do switch it to Saturday for,
It's a weekend.
certain, yeah, usually, but as of right now, it's the weekend. Occasionally, there might be like a special event, like it's not direct, it's semi-SUO, like this week I know you guys got tickets for her HIR, which I guess is a
Here.
play. Here, oh, good, yeah. But, yeah, so that's like on a weeknight, that's on Wednesday night, I believe. I'm not going, because again, I'm at my other job, but I think Robin's going and a couple of you guys are going.
Tori and Bonnie are going.
Oh, Tori and Bonnie. And,
Yeah, there are a few other people, and I think we have one ticket left if anyone is.
okay, yeah, so if anyone's still interested.
Oh, so many questions.
You can talk to, alright, yeah.
Talk to me.
So, but yeah, so that's what, it's usually on the weekends, so yes, usually Sunday, sometimes Saturday, and yeah, for the most part, so. And that's just because, obviously during even though a lot of people work on the weekends, obviously I know that if they have other jobs, as far as the people here, you guys usually only work Monday through Friday, so that was the idea to have the stuff on the weekends, because I know you guys are kind of burnt out from working during the week.
We've tried things in the afternoons and people are pretty tired by the end
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
afternoon and just wanna go home.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
and so I get that again goes kind of to your point, Lauren, about earlier, about kind of getting burnt out, and so when you're already coming in doing a full day work, and then you're like, okay, I'm done.
Now, as opposed to someone like me, I might be more likely to do after work because then I'm here already.
Yeah, no,
As
it's
opposed to
definitely not,
doing
it's definitely
extra
something to talk
work.
about again, maybe in the future, and see
There's
if
been
there's
a lot
an
of trial and
activity.
error.
Especially,
Yeah.
especially people who may live far away, even though I don't live
Right,
that
right,
far.
right, and I don't wanna say we'll
Here.
never do stuff on afternoons anymore, or whatever, obviously that'll, if there is a big change like that, again, you guys of course will get an email and stuff regarding that.
Okay.
And also, I know for some things like sporting events, the most recent time we went to a game at Chicago Wolves, I timed it to be a 3 o'clock on Sunday start, so during the actual regular set aside time, but scheduling doesn't always work out that perfectly.
Right, yeah, we try to do, it's usually 12 to 5 on Sundays is our usual time, if that's in case anybody's wondering. But again, if activities fall outside of that, we're not going to be like, oh no, we definitely can't do that because it's outside of that.
And then I was out of town the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did anybody else have any questions, comments? Ian?
Sorry, I have a more social question.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. No, you're good.
I guess, I don't know, like, I might go to like social groups or like be like part of organizations, and so I have like acquaintances there, but I don't know like how to move from like being like an acquaintance to like seeing them in this context to like being friends like outside of that context.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I get that too. It's tricky, yeah. It's difficult, and that's definitely something definitely in school and stuff, I didn't like understand like the whole like thing that people would just like meet and then like get together and like go do things, and I'm like, wait, how did that happen and when did that happen? And like they just met and now they're like BFFs, like what's going on here? Like,
I can say that even people who are neurotypical struggle with
yeah.
it.
Well, I feel like
it's not easy to do. I think I think at some point somebody has to be a little brave and like text somebody and say, hey, you want to go do
meet
this,
at Starbucks,
you know, and like but it's really hard, and I think it's hard
and I think
for everyone.
Right, and I think there's certain people are more like naturally fluid at that, so it's like you're saying like even the nerd, and inside the neurotypicals, there's a spectrum too of like sociability. So you have like the people who instantly like everyone is like, I don't know if they have like, you know, they like worship some ancient deity and got powers or something. I don't know what they did, who they had to sell their soul to, but that's exactly what happened. That's what I thought. Yeah. So but yeah, they just seem to have like this magnetism with like everybody, and like instantly like everybody likes them and stuff. So it's like super easy for them, and then other people, even neurotypicals, have like a lot harder of a time, and like
I have a suggestion of sorts that may or may not work. I don't know. But you know, if you are going to these social groups, it might be easier to make plans to meet before or after, so you don't have to take another trip out of the house to do something totally separate. And then you'll also have something, especially if it's after the group, then you'll already be in sort of that mode of, you know, communicating and socializing and might be.
And I definitely think I think personally too that you could always start with like if you're like going to the groups, obviously you're going to learn stuff about people. So like kind of how Courtney knew like how Lauren was talking about Japanese, and I knew that too. Like, you know, Lauren likes Japanese things. So like if there's like an anime convention or something, and you want to hang out with Lauren, right? You can be like, yo, Lauren, do you want to go to the anime convention or something? Because you know it's an interest.
Conventions are terrifying.
Well that's maybe not the.
Hanging out and watching Steins Gate with me, yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. See. So maybe Lauren's like, no, you know what? I don't like conventions, but you know, I would love to watch an anime with you, like so something like that. So.
And like I know this is going to sound insanely stereotypical, but it's true. I wound up meeting one of my best friends in the dining hall in college.
Wow.
No joke. He could tell from how I was interacting with other people that was probably on the spectrum.
Wow.
He knew he was on the spectrum.
Oh.
So one day when my other friend didn't make it to lunch at the same time, or dinner or something, he asked if his seat was taken, sat down next to me, and we got to know each other, starting with
It's a great
seeing
story.
each other in the dining hall, and now his name is on my cubicle, literally.
I would say work is a good place too. Like, you know, if there's somebody at work you feel friendly with, like, I don't know. I'm terrible at this, like.
Not the person to ask.
I am not the best person to ask, but
Oh,
you kind of say like, hey, why don't we go grab lunch today, you know, or I don't know. It's always making the first move. It's like this and like dating and all of those things that are terribly hard to do.
It's really hard.
No matter what, but
And I'm so bad at initiating. All of the people who are still my friends are the kind of people that if they live nearby, they will go into your house
Yeah.
without warning.
No, I've always like been friends more with people who are they're the ones who will do it, but I've learned, like, having moved up here and only been up here a couple years, that sometimes you have to
Get out.
Right, if you don't
have to do
initiate,
it,
it won't get done.
And I find, like, if you text or email, for me, that's a lot more comfortable than like trying to say it to somebody.
Yeah.
Incidentally, that's not an invitation to anyone. Please.
Well, no, we're all gonna run into your apartment now.
Yeah, everyone, Lauren just invited us all over.
Without warning. Yeah.
Julie had a comment or a question or something.
Well, it was a comment from
Before?
Yeah, from before, but so I'm trying to see like how it would make sense now.
You can say
okay.
But,
You can say, well, yeah, we can
like
go back.
it's kind of hard to get the ball rolling with things because like if you like want to be friends with somebody and like you initiate, what I've experienced a lot is that sometimes people will read it totally wrong and they like want to go like they have like ideas in their head and it's like you just want to be their friend and then they turn it into something totally weird.
So I think that at that point it's very important to set boundaries and to say,
Right.
you know what, I want to be your friend, but I don't want anything else. I just
Yeah.
want to be your friend.
Yeah.
Coffee
And that's
or go
okay
to
to
a
say.
movie or go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I'm like, why is it so hard to just like make friends with somebody because they always think it's like a hidden agenda.
I was gonna say, as far as initiating, like, I like I said, like I like to like do different stuff. So, for I'd sometimes get frustrated, be like, nobody's inviting me to do anything. So, what like my mom said, like is like, yeah, there's usually like the people who are like the planner people that plan things, and then like the like people who come to things that are planned but don't plan things themselves. So like, and I'm like, so I'm okay. I realize that I'm like, okay, well if I want to do something, then I'm probably gonna be the one who's gonna have to plan it. So that's okay. That's fine. I'm willing to do that, and because I want to do it, and that's okay if I'm the person planning it. So it's just kind of being okay with that too, to like an extent.
Party and just do it.
Right. Yeah.
I think a lot of the time also it's we're very worried about people's responses and what they'll think if we invite them out, and maybe they're not interested in being friends with me or anyone, and they say no. That's about the worst. I mean, that's like, I think a lot of us think, myself included certainly, they're going to say no, they're gonna think I'm a freak, they're going to like make up this whole backstory about me, they'll, and that's, it usually stops with no. It usually stops with them saying like, no, I'm not interested. They're not going to think anything bad about you, they're not going to think that you've done something terrible, they've moved on already, so it's hard to see that because there's a feeling of there's a feeling when you ask someone to do something and they reject you, but it usually doesn't go as deep as we're worried.
I think there's still like
people want friends. Like
there's still an if they do say no though, then I feel like there's still like an analysis like, oh, why not, like like there's a why not, like oh, so that person's good enough for you but I'm not, like
it's usually not about you, right? Like it's usually about
I mean it's like I feel like it's yes and no, like it isn't about you, but at the same time it is about you, because if they're hanging out with that person but they're not hanging out with you, like clearly there's something about that person that they like more differently than it's hard to,
but it doesn't mean that you're not worthy of friends, right?
Right.
That this one might not work.
Right, yeah, but there's still like that, and so it is hard because and like I said, it's like it is about you, it's not about you, and again, that's not exclusive to people with disabilities either,
Some people just have different personality where they may not want to hang out with certain people, or they may want to hang out with people only in certain contexts. Like, I know people from classes in college would be happy to do a presentation or a study group with you, but wouldn't necessarily want to do anything else.
Do you want to get through?
So half the people I'm even Facebook friends with now, it seems like they're former roommates or people I did one project with, and neither of us has gotten around to unfriending the other.
And so I was gonna say too, some of the stuff is, I find, one of the things that annoys me about just being an adult is, well, there's a lot of things, but one of them is that everyone is, the schedules, like when everyone was in school, everyone's schedule pretty much lined up because the time, school was at the same time, and then like people were then free like afterwards. But now with work and stuff, like, and other family commitments and stuff, if people, you know, have spouses or children, stuff like that, there's a lot more like other commitments and other like time things. So even trying to schedule things sometimes is like a pain with people, like even if we both want to get together, because like, oh, I can do this day, and then, oh no, that day's not good for me. Okay, and then they'll be like, okay, how about this day? And then I'm like, no, that doesn't work for me. Like, and so you're kind of playing like, you know, back and forth with like, oh, let's find a day to do this thing.
Yeah, you know, setting boundaries of different types is hard enough when you know, you're actually together, you know, physically together in one place, one person, but knowing how to do it when you just meet someone is really, you know,
what your room was kind of aware.
Okay. Just knowing, you know, how to deal with something if you're not used to looking at the social cues. And I have that problem.
Well, and even I
know in, you know, with many other people, you know, we struggle with our social relationships.
Yeah, and even looking at, like, even like I've learned like a lot of like the social things, like this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're not supposed to do, but I still feel like there's like sometimes like a level of confusion with certain things. Like I'm like, okay, this, I should be understanding this, and I'm following the things, and this isn't, it's going off script. Where's my?
Well, I think being here at Aspiritech has helped with learning that. I can tell you that for myself.
And just to conclude, I mean, Rob, you know, management is sort of talking about, some of us may be doing lunch and learns about some of these very things you guys are talking about, you know, setting boundaries, or, you know, what are some simple things or not so simple things you can do to encourage friendships. And so as we move forward, you know, we're so excited for more of you to want to do lunch and learns, but we also want to do more of that too. And I think Mark did some of that in the past, as I understand. I mean, Mark and Tori, I'm not sure.
We did some social skills. We plan to do a lot more than we ever were able to do.
So I think it's something that sounds like is of interest.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be, you know, again, a big group. And in fact, it can't be a big group for it to be
right. And something like that could almost be something that maybe would work after, like as an after work thing.
That would be maybe an after work.
Because that's not
a smaller group.
Right, a smaller group. And
I agree.
For a little while.
So this
right, yeah, and it's not as intense as like maybe some of the other activities that we were doing, like when we were doing improv on Thursdays. For those of you who were here, I know some of you came after that, but we were running like the improv on Thursdays, and I know some of the feedback with that was like improv such like an active activity, and like there's a lot going on mental and stuff, and so when you're already like worked a full day and kind of feeling burnt out, like even if you'd want to do improv, you're like, but I don't want to do it now.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think for today, thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Alex.
Well done.
And all of you who came.
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening.
And get in touch with Robin or Bonnie if you'd like to, if you're interested in potentially doing an lunch and learn.
Yeah.
Please.